We're going to go to Lisa Su, AMD CEO. By the way, I met Lisa when the stock was at 3, and she told me to get on the AMD bus. Good call. Lisa, let's go right to it. There's a perception on the conference call that gaming is slowed, that data center is slowed, that the transition is not that good. You're not going to make as much money, and people are disappointed. Could you just tell me how wrong that is?
Good morning, Jim, and good morning, Carl and David. Good to talk to you guys. Look, we had a great fourth quarter that capped off a great 2019. We grew 50% year on year in the quarter to our highest quarterly revenue and our highest annual revenue ever. All segments grew other than game consoles, which is going through a product transition. So we feel really good about how the market is. We gained share, we believe, in the PC market as we had a strong holiday season. We grew strong double digits in the data center, and we continue on our march to grow data center revenue. So I feel really good about 2019 and actually even more excited about what we have in store for 2020.
Well, one of the things that I was struck by, and not sure whether in a good way, look, you've been strengthening the balance sheet the whole way. Lisa, when is that done? You have almost no leverage. I would like to see maybe some more than just trying to get that balance sheet better. I think it might be mission accomplished. Maybe it's time to spend more money on something that you haven't spent on yet.
You know, actually, we're really pleased with what we've done with the balance sheet. You know, as you said, that was one of the things that we said, hey, we want a strong balance sheet. We're in this, for the long haul. And with that, cash and reduced debt is important. I will say mission accomplished. I think as we ended the fourth quarter, we took out about $1 billion of debt in 2019. I think from a free cash flow standpoint, we had a very, very strong end to the year. And now when you look forward and you look at 2020, we're talking about substantial growth. And when you look at, the full year for us, we are estimating that we're going to grow 28 to 30% for the full year of 2020. And all of our business segments will grow. That's PCs. That's gaming, and that's data center. And these are all markets where you need more high-performance compute. And so we feel really good about that.
Well, let's talk about share. I mean, you discussed cloud share, and you included everybody. Frankly, that was the only one you left out was IBM. You even had a Chinese company there. And then you have PC. I think that you were too negative on PC growth. I didn't really understand your view of PC growth in light of what HP is telling us privately. So where are we really in share on PC? Where are we share in cloud? And how fast are both growing?
So if you look at, for example, as we ended 2019, we believe we've grown share every quarter over the last 9 quarters. And, the share results will come out shortly. And from that standpoint, PCs are doing very well. I think as we look at the market going forward for 2020, we think there's more opportunity for us to gain share. We have very strong share in desktop. We're gaining share in notebook. We're gaining share in commercial notebooks, which is actually a very good market, going forward. So, again, I think PCs are a good market for us. And now turning to the data center, again, strong double-digit growth. We expect data center to grow substantially in 2020. And so, I believe that, there are numerous opportunities for us to gain share in 2020. And I think the key here is for people to understand that, it is a successive, progression of share growth. So these are not one-quarter things, but these are, over many quarters. And that's why we're so proud of how much share that we gained in 2019 when you look over, year on year.
Is that going to stick? Because some of that, obviously, are problems in manufacturing at Intel.
Oh, I think about this over the long term, Jim. Companies and customers don't make decisions based on, one quarter or what's happening, just in the moment. I think what we've really been focused on is building a track record. And it's a track record of execution. On the PC side, we're on our 3rd generation of our Ryzen desktops and notebooks. And with each generation, the PC manufacturers have actually put more new platforms. We had some great platforms at CES that we were really excited about. We'll have, over 100 new platforms in the notebook space in 2020. And then in data center in particular, what cloud manufacturers do is, they try you out in the 1st generation, and then they do more and more workloads and put more of their data centers on you in the next generation. And so these are multiple generation things, and I think we've shown great progress, going through the last couple of years and going into 2020.
Total agreement. Now, I think people are probably wondering if, with all this positive, why is the stock down? That did happen last time. Stock went from 33 down to 31 in the intraday, then, of course, went up to 50. I'm wondering if some of it isn't because you said about the semi-custom business, which we interpret as game biz, that it was a bit soft than originally anticipated. You use the word soft. It's like the duck comes down, Lisa, and everybody sells. Can you clarify that for people?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, first of all, gaming is a great market. Okay, let's be really clear. There are lots of people who love gaming, and that's whether you're talking about game consoles or PC gaming or cloud gaming. Now, we happen to be fortunate enough to be in the two largest game console manufacturers, both Sony and Microsoft. And both Sony and Microsoft have announced that they have new consoles coming out in 2020. And so when you go through product transitions, you would expect that right before the new consoles launch, that there's a little bit of softness in demand, and that's exactly what we're seeing. But, make no mistake about it, there's a tremendous excitement around these new consoles. They have great technology, our new Zen 2 core, new graphics capability, and I'm really excited about what you're going to see in 2020 as it pertains to gaming.
Lisa, it's David. Jim did ask about the balance sheet, and I just would like to come back to it. Because it is something that investors focus on when a company is doing as well as yours has. I mean, gross leverage is half a turn here, down from 1.9 times at the end of 2018. Is that an opportunity to perhaps return more to shareholders or do something that even can fuel different areas of growth? Because that does seem to be not optimizing the balance sheet.
Yeah, David, what I would say is, look, we've been on a journey with both the investments as well as the growth and the balance sheet of the company. I'm really happy with where we are. I think we said that we were going to build a really, really strong company and a really strong foundation, and cash and the balance sheet are a key piece of that. Now, as we go forward, you will see us make more investments, as we should, as tech companies should. And, we'll always look for ways to optimize the balance sheet. But in terms of when I think about the things that we prioritize first, we are all about growth, and more growth. And the growth comes from our product portfolio and the markets that we're in. And, of course, we'll optimize the balance sheet. And we feel great at where we are today.
Lisa, coronavirus, big picture. We've been trying to draw analogs to SARS for several days now, and I assume, given the projections among some, we're going to get through this one way or another, but how much of it is going to be noise, and how long will that noise exhaust last into 2020, do you think?
Yeah, Carl, that's a great question. I think we're all watching the developments, very carefully. Certainly we would like it to be resolved sooner rather than later. From our standpoint, we're taking precautions in our facilities in China to make sure that that is, well protected. And, we look forward to a speedy resolution. But it is something that we're watching carefully as we go through the year.
Lisa, one more thing. I just want to talk about the cloud. There's a lot of people who feel that the cloud paused, the cloud's no longer growing. We have Facebook this evening. To me, it seems like that the cloud is still on course to being maybe the great, other than maybe 5G, the great secular trend of our time. Do you see it like that?
I absolutely think cloud is growing and will continue to grow. And, for every conversation I have with the major cloud vendors, what they're telling me is that they want to put on as much capacity as possible. There's plenty of demand, whether you're talking about, the traditional applications, you're talking about machine learning and AI and all of these things. So, yeah, I think that is, not only an important trend for us in 2020, but really over the next 5 years. And that's why we're investing so much in the cloud and the data center space.
Lisa, thank you so much for coming on, as always. And again, congratulations on the amazing turn, in particular, as David said, the balance sheet, which is rather extraordinary.